Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Real Reds Talk, the authentic football fan channel made in Manchester. This is the transfer roundup or the transfer circus, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of things going on with Manchester United at the minute. The main story, of course, is going to be McTominay, Gravenberch swap deal. We'll discuss that in depth, what type of player Gravenberch is. Will he be able to help Manchester United? And what would McTominay likely do at Bayern Munich? Probably sit on the bench, to being completely honest, but we'll discuss that. Harry Maguire deal back on, or is it back on, or is it back off? There's journalists basically going back and forth on this. Some reliable journalists saying that it is, and then other reliable journalists saying that it's not. So that's a bit of confusion. We'll touch on that. Is the Amrabat deal off as well? Apparently, again, journalists going back and forth on this. Journalists that are from the club, and then apparently the Italian media is kind of pushing this narrative more than what it is. So in general, I just want to discuss the transfer window and the mess that it's been and all the detail into it. But of course, I need you guys to get involved in the comment section, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. And let's talk about it together, really, because the news coming out last night, which was a bit of a shock, and everyone was like, what the fuck's going on here? And really, when you see a story like this, you kind of think it's going to be like a tier 3 or a tier 4. But the news coming out was coming out from CF Bayern, which is when it obviously coming to Bayern Munich, it's the best source you could potentially get. So they were saying Bayern Munich are interested in Scott McTominay or a loan swap deal with Ryan Gravenberch, and that's being discussed apparently. Now, I haven't watched Gravenberch a lot. I saw bits at Ajax in Champions League and other little bits in league games and stuff. So I've gone back and done a little bit of research as to what he would bring, because I think, look, there'll be people who watch Bayern Munich, and that's absolutely fine. They watch Bundesliga, we might watch the highlights and see bits of him. But I wanted to get to know what kind of player he is. Would there be a point in bringing him in and sending McTominay the other way? Are they not just the same player? So Gravenberch is 6'2", can hold his own physically, agile, quick with his feet. He likes to operate in that double pivot, but more on like the left-hand side. He's an all-rounder in regards to his movement, so he's decent on the ball, quite strong, physical stature, can help in the build-up phase, dropping into the back line, create a numerical advantage, or receive it on a half-turn and look to drive the ball forward. But he likes to advance forward, particularly in the left-sided areas, similar to how Paul Pogba did. Now, I'm not comparing them as players and saying they're the exact same players, because they're not. But I'm saying it's similar elements in how he likes to attack, what his favourite areas are. The issue is, though, I was looking before, is he the same player that he was at Ajax? That's the question, because since he's gone to Bayern Munich, I was having a look at his game time before. So last season in the league, he started, I think it was 24 games. Started 24 games. No, played 24 games and started 3 with an average of 24 minutes. So the question is he not playing in Bayern Munich? I'd love to get a Bayern Munich fan on and asking this. So is there any Bayern Munich fans on the YouTube or in the TikTok? Please do let me know, because I'd love to discuss it. But yeah, Gravenberch, is he not playing because of Kimmich and Goretzka? Because even Bayern Munich haven't been up to the usual standard, have they, of late? Like, I remember the last game I watched them was in the Super Cup when they got beat by Leipzig 3-0, and they didn't look great at all, even with Harry Kane in the team. Whether they've turned it around, the form or whatever, since, I don't know. I think they won 4-0, didn't they, yesterday or whatever. But Gravenberch can't get minutes for him. And I don't know if that's because Kimmich and Goretzka are just the favourites there. The German, hungry, they like to play a lot of their kind of homegrown talents, don't they, and push them. So I don't know what it is. I don't know why he's not playing. I don't think it's down to that he hasn't got ability. I just think Tuchel's like, look, these guys are seasoned. They've done it before. They've won leagues. They've won Champions Leagues. You come in from Ajax, with all due respect. He's still young. I think he's only 21 years old. So the question is, bringing him to Manchester United, will he make a huge difference to our team? That's the question you ask. If not, then what's the point in bringing him in? If you're just doing a like for like, I don't know. But there's something to it, because obviously Erik ten Hag has coached him before. So that's the only reason why I would trust this kind of opinion. If it was just a random coach and we was getting a player like this, I'd be like, I'm not entirely sure, because I remember getting hyped. I'm not saying the same player again, but I remember getting hyped up for Sabitzer when he was coming. I was like, oh, look, if he can recapture that form that he did at Leipzig, it'd be, a really great addition for us. Why? And then everyone was asking, well, why are Bayern Munich letting him go? Because Bayern Munich don't let players go, or they weren't giving players game time for a certain reason. Sabitzer came over to us. Can anyone, hand on heart, say that he was decent? Because he wasn't. He was injured a lot as well. Sabitzer, and now he's gone to Borussia Dortmund, I think. So, fucking hell, Sabitzer didn't really do bits for us, did he? Wasn't what we needed really. Didn't really make much of a difference on the team. Had one good game. I think he scored 2 against Sevilla, didn't he, in the first half. But apart from that, he didn't really do much. So I'm just saying I don't want another kind of transfer like that where we're just bringing someone in just for the sake of it. Like if you're going to swap it for McTominay, make sure it's for, make sure it makes sense. And the question is, why would Thomas Tuchel want Scott McTominay as well? Would he do well at Bayern Munich? Would he get game time? Why would McTominay move there? Unless he's been promised, like the whole reason why we're selling him and why he would potentially move on is because he doesn't get enough game time at Manchester United. So if he's going to go to Bayern Munich, but will he get game time there? That's why I think this swap deal in general, I just don't see it. I don't see it happening. I could be surprised, but I really don't see it happening. We've got more and more people joining YouTube. Get involved, get your questions in. Talk to me about Gravenberch and Scott McTominay. I'm going to read out some of your comments now and leave a like on the video if you can. Initially, Bayern didn't want Gravenberch to go, but he's forced their hand and said he wants out more playing time ahead of the Euros, or LVG won't include him in the squad. That sounds like Timber vibes, that, doesn't it? Remember when he was saying, if you go there, you're not going to get in the World Cup squad and blah, blah, blah. Sam saying, if this deal happens, I'll eat my hat. Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't see it happening, to be honest with you. Yeah, he's better than Eriksen, Mount, and McTominay, says Jed Rowlands. Wow, interesting. People saying 7-0. Obviously, Liverpool fan. How's it going, JH Fishing? How are you going, mate? Callum Huddlestone in the chat saying, hey, hello to everyone. Big up yourselves. How are we all doing on this fine afternoon? Let me just get a swig of my coffee. My throat was absolutely killing. So, yeah, look, stranger things have happened, haven't they, in the last couple of days. I mean, how long have we got now till the transfer window shuts? Is it Thursday? The 1st of September? It'll be Thursday night, won't it, when it shuts? So, 4 days, you've still got loads of other stuff going on, and that's what I'm going to get into now. Harry Maguire situation. That's like, again, so you got numerous different outlets on this reporting different things. So I don't know who's telling the truth there, but basically Sky Sports News reported, I think they were one of the first ones on it, saying West Ham are considering whether to go back in for Harry Maguire. They're exploring a loan deal. And then Romano said in the last 24 to 48 hours, Harry Maguire has become open to a loan move. Manchester United are not keen on a loan right now. But there is potential now for Maguire to join West Ham. The centre-back has changed his mind and is now open to making a loan deal in the final days of the window. That's Fabrizio Romano, right? So when it comes to obviously transfers, everybody knows Romano's top tier, number one. But then you've got a Telegraph coming out. And I know James Ducker does the press conferences for Manchester United. So I know he has good links to Manchester United. He's coming out and saying the Maguire deal is bollocks, basically. That it's not going to happen. And we're not reviving interest and we're not doing this. Now, the question is, if the Maguire one is a loan with an obligation to buy and it's like 30, 35 million, is anybody bothered? Because you're going to get the funds either way, right? And transfers usually are done on installments. So if that is the case and they're like, well, we'll take Maguire now and we'll take him for a year, but then we'll pay 30 million at the end of the year, you'd take it, wouldn't you? And you're like, all right, well, we'll just get Todibo in and then spread the cost for Todibo. Does that not make sense? Am I being stupid there? Like, yeah, I don't know. But again, it's a fucking loan deal, isn't it? Loan deal, loan. Henderson, loan. I know I think that's a permanent sale now, isn't it, Henderson? 15 plus 5. But it's just loan deal, loan. Donny van der Beek on loan. Why can we not just sell players, man? Just sell him. Get rid. If Eric Ten doesn't want him there, you have to back a manager equally in selling players as you are buying players. Do you know what I'm saying? So he needs to go. He's not going to get game time. I mean, we signed Johnny Evans on a 1-year deal. What more noise do you want about you potentially going? You've been stripped to the captaincy. You're basically 5th choice as a centre-back, probably 6th choice now. Johnny Evans is signing a 1-year deal. What more do you need? Take the hint, bro. Just take the hint. And maybe this is why in the last 24, 48 hours, what they're saying is that he's changed his mind. But, well, fine. The penny's dropped. Thank God the penny has dropped in the last fucking 4 days of the transfer window. Jesus Christ. I think it would be Todibo, the replacement for Maguire, if he was to go. But who would you guys want? People watching, the important people. Who would you get in to replace Harry Maguire if he goes, if you get, someone realistic, don't just say fucking Marquinhos or someone like that. Who would you bring in? Because you're going to get 30 million. You probably have to pay someone off. I don't know what. So you're looking at what, 20, 25. So you're a little bit strapped in terms of who you can bring in. The options that we were linked with at the time, there was a list, wasn't there? In July. Was it back in July? Was it that long ago? It was Pavard, but I think he's going to Inter Milan now, isn't it? You've got Todibo, who's obviously still waiting in the wings, who's a good option, 23 years old. Decent. He could play at right back and centre back, so good at defending in the channels, which is what Eric Ten will like, because Pavard was a similar player in terms of versatility. And then you have that Tapsoba, who was at Bayer Leverkusen. And then you had Gay, who was at Crystal Palace, but I don't think you'll be able to get him out for Crystal Palace for cheap. So I think really you're looking at Todibo in a minute or Tapsoba, because I'm pretty sure the Pavard deal is close. And for anyone who wants to know what type of player Todibo is, if you haven't watched him before, there is a clip on our TikTok, or there's a members video, as well. If you want to check that out, then obviously become a member, click the join button next to the notification bell. But there's a small clip on TikTok as well for you guys, and then click on it and it'll show you. Luke Barrett saying, "You okay, mate? Very well, thank you. I hope you're well." This club can't sell players, for fuck's sake, says Sue. Yep, absolutely spot on. Todibo, says Craigie. And you wonder why, well, yep, can't read that out, but yeah, I take your point. I'm just going to remove any idiots that I mentioned Munich and stuff like. Surely you've got better things to do. Absolute fucking idiots. Honestly. There are people in life, right, that just, it's such a reflection of their own insecurities that they have to go on other people's lives and comment stupid shit, get themselves blocked, and then they get some kind of self-esteem from that, and it boosts their ego. Like, come off it, mate. So yeah, let's read out what we're saying. Sean saying, didn't Ducker say they're not looking to sign a centre-back? He didn't say anything about a loan, probably just covering his back with his choice of words. Yeah, you might be right, Sean. You might be right. Mick lost bag out. I don't know what that means. Sean says Todibo and Leach would be the Bailly and Rojo we never got, but levels above. Would love to, not as at the centre-back. I would, and I wouldn't at the same time. I'd have absolute high blood pressure. But Todibo, from what I've seen of him, he seems decent. He's quick, physical. Like I said, can defend in the channels. And, when you've got your wing-backs pushing up, his centre-back split, that right-sided area, he's very good at 1v1 duels. You got Varane now, who's getting a little bit older. He's obviously injured again. Now he's going to start picking up more and more injuries. Could he be the replacement for Rafael Varane? That's the question. So, yeah, I don't know. I think Todibo would probably be my first choice, to be honest with you. The transfer window for Manchester United has been terrible like every year. I tend to agree with that. United don't look good. I think they can stop the toxicity at the club. Rash is saying Felix, Amrabat, Gravenberch, and Todibo. That'd be the dream. But if United got that many players in the next 4 days, I'd shave my head on alive. Honestly, I think one deal is going to be a bit of a push, to be honest with you. But let's move on to Amrabat anyway, because he was the next kind of topic of discussion, and kind of give me the perfect segue there. So Manchester United have been in the market for another midfielder, but club sources say if Sofyan Amrabat does leave Fiorentina, it is unlikely to be for Manchester United. That's coming out from Samuel Luckhurst, who again does press conferences, has ties into the club. But then Romano again saying that United are going to bid soon for Amrabat. So I don't know what's going on here. There's people reporting different things all the time, consistently. Apparently, the Italian press have been milking it a lot much more than what it is, which, to be honest, they have been suspicious of that before. The Portuguese press do a similar thing. They really push the narrative on a player when an agent feeds it into the papers and are like, make sure you push this deal or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know if this is more, but Romano's, like I said, he's tier 1. He's not going to push this for no reason. If he's saying United are going to go in and bid for Amrabat soon, I tend to believe Fabrizio Romano over Samuel Luckhurst. Maybe they're putting it, maybe there's always seems to be politics with transfers where there's something going on behind closed doors that United are maybe dampening it just in case we don't get him, and they'll feed that through Luckhurst. Whereas Romano's speaking directly to the agents, and he's like, they're saying that, well, they're looking like they're going to bid soon. So you just don't know, do you? To be honest with you. Like Charlie Malmin says there, don't trust a word Luckhurst has to say. He's been wrong all summer. And also, Samuel Luckhurst has just spouted nothing but negative crap about United. That's all I've seen, honestly. Irfine Kidale says Man United need to midfield. If you mean we need a midfielder, I'm absolutely with you on that, Irfine. Don't listen to everyone saying don't listen to Luckhurst. He's a clown. I know. I'm just, I'm reporting what's being said. It's good to have two aggressive centre backs because the centre forwards spend a lot of time with their backs to goal. They always have to hesitate, thinking this guy's going to come through me the ball but you also get red cards as well equally. I mean, Eric Bailly and Lisandro Martinez together, they would have played. It would have just been a red card waiting to happen. Even though Lisandro actually doesn't pick up that many red cards. Has he had a red card, Lisandro? I don't think he has he? To my knowledge. I don't think he has. So he's more controlled aggression, where Eric Bailly was just like, he could kick you in the nuts or give you a hug. He just didn't have a clue what he was going to do. So that was absolute carnage. But this deal now for Amrabat, are people worried? How are you feeling? Talk to me. Are you worried about this Amrabat deal not going through now? Because I'm starting to get, even though it's Luckhurst putting this out, I'm starting to get a little bit nervous about it. And he is a player. He's the most important one. You could talk about your backup centre backs and maybe another kind of lone striker or whatever. I think that centre mid is important. I think when Casemiro, let's say Casemiro gets injured, who do you play at the 6 right now? You know what I mean? That's drop off instantly, straight away. Don't chat to me about Scott McTominay playing as a 6 because he can't do it. So he could be covered there. He could play alongside Casemiro in those tough away fixtures. You're playing Bayern Munich in the Champions League or Barcelona at the new camp. You bring out Amrabat next to Casemiro. You really, really shore up that midfield. And then you put a Mount or Bruno ahead of him, whatever it is you want. Or maybe you play Bruno on the wing or Mount on the wing. I don't know. But he is a really, really important, significant signing. And for the price that's being quoted, I mean, I've seen it go from 30 million euros to 25 million euros. Then apparently now the price is back up because United are taking time. So fuck knows what the actual price is. But if you can get it for about 25 million quid, why have we not already done this deal? People are talking about Dean Henderson being sold and that money's going to be spent on the goalkeeper. Bollocks, absolute bollocks, because we sold Kovar for 8 to 10 million pound. So that money was spent on the backup goalkeeper. That 15 plus 5 is just floating about somewhere, probably in the Glazers' pockets, if we're being honest. So there is money there to spend. I think our net spend at the minute now, I think we probably, in sales, we probably made like 45 to 50 million. And we've spent 100 and I want to say 60. So yeah, your net spend's about 110, isn't it? Buy Amrabat for 20, 25, 130 net spend. Usual. But again, I don't know. I want proper football at our club investment in. I mean, he's alluding to Qatar. Grace Sheridan says Gravenberch is an 8. He's an upgrade on Scott. I want a 6 just to sit and control. Give me Amrabat now. That's a very good point, Grace. Lucky Singh says bullshit. I want a midfielder now. Sort out Avram Glazer. I can't sort him out, mate. I wish I could. I'd chop that haircut off anyway. That'd be the first thing I did if I got hold of him. We won't sign anyone. There's no money. I don't think there'll anybody else now. It's typical Man United. It's so embarrassing. People feeling. I get it. I understand. If we don't sign another midfielder and rely on Casemiro all season, we are finished. And JM says, fingers crossed we can sneak Gravenberch in. I still think we will sign one player. Who that'll be, I think it could be a proper surprise in there. Could be Gravenberch, could be Amrabat. I've seen links with left backs now. I know we could be 2 players because the 3 left backs that are on that list: Cucurella, Marcos Alonso, and Sergio Reguilon. Won it 3 Spanish left backs, and we've got a Spanish left back as well in Alvaro Fernandez. So we've literally got 4 Spanish left backs there that kind of floating about that we're taking a pick from. I think Alvaro Fernandez is going out on loan to Granada. So Cucurella is top of the list, but apparently Alonso's the easiest deal to do because of Barcelona's financial situation. I don't want Marcos Alonso anywhere near the club. I'll say that straight off the bat. Fuck that. I do not want him. People mention Rico Henry as well, like Harris Milk says there. I like Rico Henry, but you ain't getting. I don't think you'll get him out of Brentford especially on loan anyway. So I think Cucurella would be the top choice. Player of the year for Brighton, was fantastic when he was there. Last season, he was dreadful for Chelsea. Absolutely dreadful. So is he still a player there? Was it just a product of the environment? I don't know. But we do need a left back. People will say push Alvaro Fernandez, and that's absolutely fine. But would you be starting Alvaro Fernandez against Bernardo Silva or against these kind of guys in the league? I wouldn't do it personally. I think he needs a loan. I think he's got potential. I think he's quality, but he needs to go out on loan and needs to get his game time there. I would not throw him into the first team now. I wouldn't. And obviously you could say, oh, what's this? Breaking news? Oh, I hope this isn't true. I really hope this isn't true. Just in, Manchester United have submitted an official loan offer to Barcelona for Marcos Alonso. I don't know if people heard that on TikTok because I was reading it. I was a tweet that came down. Breaking news: United have put in a loan offer for Marcos Alonso. That's what's just come up on my Twitter then. I don't know the source. I've never heard of the source, so it could be absolute bollocks. But if that is true, get him away from like if we play a back five, maybe I'd consider bringing him in. But a back four, Alonso as a left back is pants, mate. He's absolutely pants. Don't get him in my club. Don't want him anywhere near it. If you don't want Alonso as well, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. There's 32 people in YouTube, so I appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you very much for tuning in on this Monday afternoon. I am gonna at some point this week for a members video. I'm not even gonna say it. I'll save it as a surprise. But there's a surprise coming this week. It's gonna be very, very good, and it's close to the theme with the transfer window. So if you want to become a real adult member for like £3 a month, you get exclusive content, badge next to your name, and a chance to feature on a live show with the lads. Make sure you click that join button. We've currently got 15 members, I think. So when it gets to 22 members, we've already done the first draw with the first 11. Once we get to 22, we do a live draw again and then introduce people and get them on, etc. So, yeah, it just helps support the channel. We've already had some amazing guests on and we release exclusive content every single week. United Daily 2.0, what a legend. He's been about for time. Big up yourself. Saying, just getting the fuel to take McTominay to the airport. Gravenberch, here we go. Love it. Spidey says, more than a left back, we need a defensive midfielder. I agree. Barner says, thoughts on Kimmich to United? Never, ever happen. Never fucking happen. Grace Sheridan says, after the season finished, we needed 2 strikers and a DM. Yeah, but the striker, who would you go get as a striker? Now that's the question. Who's available right now who you could bring in as like, I know people say Taremi and stuff like that. I'm not a fan personally, but if you brought him in, I wouldn't be mad at it, especially at this point in the window when you got 4 days left. Lucky Singh, we need midfielder, striker, or another midfielder. David Harrington says rather play Martinez at left back over Alonso coming in. I would agree with that. I was just talking then about how I wouldn't want to play Alvaro Fernandez, but if Marcos Alonso was coming in, I'd be like, just Alvaro, just fucking play out there. Like, I don't want Marcos Alonso. I don't like him, first and foremost. You go back to the Barcelona watch along when he scored against us last season. I was absolutely slating it, not just because he scored, because all the things off pitch as well. Like, I just don't like the guy. That would not make the hairs on my neck stand up if we signed Marcos Alonso. I'll put it that way. Fucking terrible signing. Shah Sam is in the chat, who is a real Red Ultra member using the Nick emoji. Big up to Shah Sam, who's been a long-term supporter of the channel. Absolute legend. Appreciate you very much. Gray Sheridan says the final striker, Git Orban. Haven't heard of him, but I'll look into him for sure. Jari Malman says, I see us getting 3 players, Gravenberch, Amrabat, and Leonardo. Wow, that is positive. That is positive, to say the least. But we need positivity. Mohamed Bahanbe says, Rash Bahana to United for midfield. Who? Rash Bahana? Never heard of him. I keep saying Rash Bahana to United. I have no idea what that is. Sean says, after the shit show that was Mason Greenwood, the last thing we want is Alonso at the club. He should be in prison. Well, yeah, that's obviously another topic or talking point for another day, but I take your point. Everyone's saying fucking Alonso basically in the chat, and I would absolutely back that. If we get Cucurella, let's say, right, here's a question for you to leave you thinking. For the rest of this transfer window now, if we brought in Amrabat and Cucurella, what would you rate that transfer window out of 10? Let's do a poll, actually. I like a good old poll. Oh, we need to end this one first. Sorry, at the start, I put, would you be happy with a swap deal? 89% have said yes. 11% have said no. I'd like to know what that 11% is, because I think that's interesting. Not that you're wrong or anything. Everyone has an opinion, but yeah. Let's start a poll. Let's have a look. So, let me move my mic a little bit, because it's in the way. If we brought in Amrabat and Cucurella, what would you rate? What would you rate the window? Probably don't even make sense, but you take my point in it. 10. You only do 4 options, in it. 9. I think you do 4 options. 8. 7. Tell you what, no, that's going 9. I'm not put 10 on there because no one's going to put 10. I refuse to believe anyone would put 10. 6. Ask your community. If there's any moderators in the TikTok chat as well, put it in there. Or just put your answers in. Yeah. David Wright, drummer singer, says, I still rate it 4 out of 10. Wow. 5, says Amy. Tic Tac says 8. Tomo says shit. It's not a number, but I'll take your point. Let's see. I'll put a poll up anyway, so we'll see what people are saying. Oh, quick look at this. Make sure you subscribe to Real Reds Talk, please. We are, what was we on before I went live? 3,179, I believe. So let's try to get that to 3,200 if we can. If you're new, you love content, you like breaking news stories, watch-alongs, reviews, fun interactive stuff as well. We do like quizzes and like, can you guess the player and loads of stuff. And there's loads of lads on the channel as well. So St. Nolan saying 3,100, so 3,192, he says. So we're 8 subscribers, just 8 subscribers of 3,200. So if you could do that, I'd really appreciate it. It'd make my day. And yeah, hopefully we're giving you something back in the content and stuff. So far, the majority are saying 6 out of 10. So if we brought in Amrabat and Cucurella, what would you rate the window? 7% have said 9, 13% have said 8, 27% have said 7, and 53% have said 6. So 6 out of 10 seems the general consensus at the moment. And do you know what? I think I said 6.5 on Twitter last night on our socials. Make sure you check them out as well. Real Reds Talk, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. But we asked a question yesterday on socials, and I think I said 6.5. If you brought Højlund, Mount, Onana, Cucurella, Amrabat, I think that's 6.5 out of 10, personally. We've got Jimmy Hendricks there saying Cucurella's shit, mate. He's not even good enough for Chelsea. I know, but we need a left back, don't we? We need a left back. And it's kind of, we're shopping and being embargoing at the minute, unfortunately. Interesting, Romano putting Nottingham Forest going in for the Benfica keeper who's linked with that Vladimos. Yeah, Mohamed. I don't know what you're going on about there, but yeah, no idea what you're talking about. Very strange. Best ability is availability, and considering the 2 signings we've had are injured, it's a 6. Should have kept Alvaro Fernandez. Are we getting Gravenberch? Well, a loan deal is currently being discussed between Bayern Munich and Manchester United. But look, if we're going to summarise the transfer window, Manchester United and our dealings, I was looking before, right? All we do is panic buys. Fellaini, Mata, Cavani, Igalo, Alexis Sanchez, Weghorst. Like, why do Manchester United, are any other club doing this, by the way? Are Arsenal, City, Chelsea probably are. I don't know if we put them on the list. Liverpool, Newcastle, are any other people speaking about Marcus Alonso on loan or anyone like that? Why is it just Manchester United who do weird, like, loan deals and panic buys towards? Remember last season, Arnautovic, the fans stopped us signing Arnautovic because when that got announced, everyone was like, why the fuck would you sign Arnautovic? Like, I don't understand United as a club. That badge must mean fuck all to that board. That badge there means now, apparently, because the dealings that they're doing towards the end of the window are just weird. I don't get it. I really, really don't get it. Expect the unexpected this week. That is what I would say, because United are all over the shop. You're seeing leaks left, right, and centre. Will we bring in Amrabat, Cucurella, and Gravenberch? Will we just bring in Gravenberch? If McTominay is going the other way, will Gravenberch significantly improve us? He's only started 3 games for Bayern Munich last season. I like the look of him, but I just don't know if he's the same player that he was at Ajax. It doesn't necessarily translate all the time. So I don't know. If I had a choice right now, out of who we're being linked with, Amrabat and Cucurella, I would bring in. They would be my 2 options. If we bring them in now, I'd be like, right, that's an okay window, 6.5, considering it's happened. But outgoings, it's a 2 out of 10 for me, straight off the bat. Because selling players, we have been shit at it. It's called a spade, we've been shit at it. And you know what? I was actually like being positive about Murta and Arnold at the start of the window because the way that he was going about deals. Now I look at it, I'm like, it's another shit window again. I can't remember the last decent well-functioned window that we had. And we thought it wouldn't happen again after the De Jong saga last year, after Arnautovic and Rabiot and all this kind of stuff. And again, really, it has happened, hasn't it? It's, yeah. Naz says, I don't understand why we rejected 30 million for McTominay, because United have this reputation in the transfer market that they're idiots, basically. They're just clowns. And everyone in Europe knows this. And we try putting a stance out that we're not going to be taking as much. We're going to hold our own on McTominay for 45 million. That's it. And now you're hearing stuff like, oh, we think we might loan him out to Bayern Munich to bring in another player. Like, you don't know what they're doing. They don't know what we're doing. I mean, Chive, who's on the channel, has always said the thing that frustrates him the most at Manchester United is the fact that we don't have a sporting director. We need an efficient sporting director who knows what he's doing. A guy who has been in football all his life, knows where the players are at. Look what Dan Ashworth is doing at Newcastle. Look at the players, the profile of players that he's brought in. Exciting. I know they got beat off Liverpool, a 10-men Liverpool yesterday, which is pretty embarrassing. But the players that he's brought in has been really, really good. And we need someone who's like that. Maybe that's Paul Mitchell. Maybe that's someone else. I don't know. But we need to bring someone in because these clowns that are doing it in a minute, that are flying all around Europe and having the pants pulled down, are just not good enough for me at the moment. So, yeah. Rash B says Mount was the wrong signing. He wasn't needed. I disagree. I think Mount will be a very important player for us, but I understand why people have the doubts. David Harrington says, imagine Pep wanted a left back and their owner said, we can only get you Alonso on loan. We're meant to try and catch City with these idiots running the club. Yeah. Rui Costa at Benfica does a great job. Another one. Yeah, great shout. McTominay out, says Lucky Singh. Rashby says Liverpool get an offer for Salah for 130 million. They'll spend that like Coutinho money and they'll be stronger. Well, you look at how West Ham have spent their Declan Rice money, for example. I think they spent it really, really well. Ward-Prowse looks like it could be one of the signings of the season for it, and I'm not even joking. It looks really, really good for them. Edson Alvarez, yet to be seen. You don't know how he's going to think it. I think the centre-back they brought in, Mavropanos. I think he's injured currently at the minute, but he could be a good signing. And they brought in another one as well. I can't remember off the top of my head. But they look, well, the top of the league at the minute, aren't they? Currently. So, yeah. We're letting players go cheaply. Amrabat is waiting for us. He's been waiting. Imagine waiting for United since June for him to turn around and go, oh, actually, you're not even priority, mate. And Amrabat sat there like, hold on a minute. I've not even trained with the squad. I've been segregated from the squad for this transfer specifically. And you're coming out and telling me that I weren't even priority. That's absolute bollocks, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like, the United are the gift that keeps giving. The reason why when we put a tweet out, transfer circus, is because it's a circus. We could have another Igalo towards the end of the window. We could bring in fucking Gravenberch. We could bring in Amrabat. I don't know anymore. I really, really don't know. We're currently on 3,195 subscribers, so we need 5 people to sub. 5 people to subscribe if you can, if you're new to the channel. We have 2 shows pretty much every single day. We go live when breaking news stories. We have exclusive content, live watch-alongs, reviews of the games, previews, interactive stuff. Everything you need from a football channel is right here. So please do consider subscribing. If you want to become a member and help support the channel as well, and join the Capybara community, then click the join button next to the notification bell for exclusive content, a badge next to your name, the Real Red Ultra badge, and a chance to feature on the show. 3196, 4 subs to go. 4 people. Whoever's watching, you're like, I can't be arsed. Come on. Everyone out except Onana, Rashford, and Varane. Wow. Strong points of view. Would buying Rico Henry be the best left-back option? Probably. Yeah, tic-tac. I think it's the least attainable one to get, but it's probably the best one to get, I would say. I like Rico Henry. I think he's a good centre-back. He's a good left-back, sorry. But again, don't Brentford play with like a back 5. He's more of a wing-back, so I'm not sure how he would operate in a back 4. But everything I've seen from him, he looks really, really good. Decent pace about him. Good at getting forward. So, yeah. Lucky Singh says, McTominay, time to go. Sofian Amrabat doesn't know what to expect, whether he's coming or going. And it'll be like that until the very last day. I think if we sign Amrabat, it'll be Wednesday, Thursday. I don't think it'll be today or tomorrow. Typical last minute. Maybe they're waiting until the last minute to knock the price down. Maybe they're waiting for Wednesday, Thursday specifically to go to him and say, all right, we'll give you 15 plus 5. And Fiorentina just like, what are you talking about, mate? No. Shut up. So, yeah, there's more and more stuff coming out about Marcus Alonso. I just, oh, God. Don't sign Marcus. Please do not sign Marcus Alonso, because that is just, no, just wrong in all ways, all shapes and forms of life. Don't forget, we'll be live later on at 7 o'clock with the lads, discussing all things, because there's going to be more and more stuff to talk about. I really want to pick the brain about this transfer window and Amrabat and other stuff going on as well. This week, I want to speak about takeover and other stuff off the pitch. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. With the way things are going at the minute, we might even be live before 7 o'clock because shit's breaking all the time. So, yeah. Sean, you just asked a question that no one would ask me if you know me and you know this channel. Maybe you're asking it sarcastically. Sean's just put, would you take Darmian over Alonso? And maybe he's asking that because he knows I hate Darmian. I'm probably thinking it's the latter. I wouldn't take Darmian over my I don't know, my uncle, like whoever you think of who's shit at football. I would not take him over that. Darmian is pants. He's one of the worst players we've ever signed in our life. He was the most average. How he played as a centre back in a Champions League final is just like, I don't like, what is going on? How is it? And they only conceded one. He's shite. He's absolutely shite. I'm pretty sure he's won a league as well, hasn't he? And a few cups and that. It's just like, oh my God. Yeah. And on that note, yeah. What we're saying here? Sam saying AC Milan will present verbal a proposal for Taremi. No plans to match asking price in excess of 25 million, but Milan wants to try until the end. All right, well, there's another one gone. AC Milan apparently are signing Taremi. So, yeah. Look, the people are going to knock down like flies. They really are. The longer you leave it, the less people are available. And we are in B&M bargain in the, I don't know, the bargain corner, if you have a bargain corner. What's the place that has bargain corner? Is it IKEA? When it's like, you know, you got a wardrobe that's got a scratch on it, but you get it for cheaper. We're in the bargain corner in IKEA in a minute. Best believe that's where we are shopping. So let's see what we pull out. Maybe we'll get a nice wardrobe out of there, or maybe we'll just have a piece of shit in a bag. E.g. Marcus Alonso. Let's see what happens. I don't know. Yeah. We've got 2 subscribers off 3,200. So if there's any lovely people who still haven't done that yet, please do. Leave a like on the video for us. We'll be live later on at 7 o'clock. I appreciate every single one of you tuning in, asking questions, interactive. That is what it's all about. That's why we go live every day for you people. So really appreciate you. Hope you have a lovely Monday, because Monday's usually shit. And we'll see you later on tonight, guys. Take care. Peace.